Yo! Oh, that was so badass. They all lined up in a perfect single file line to pop off right there. That was cool. That was so fucking cool. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. This mod is too much fun. Kind of want to see, does Sephiroth have a Chocobo petting animation? He does. Yeah. Yeah, chat, you're right. Sephiroth doesn't have a second cast animation, so it crashes the game. Okay, that's important to know right there. Arcane Ward and Sephiroth, unfortunately, it's a no-go. We can't... See, it wasn't fate. No matter what, Sephiroth and Aerith are not meant to work together. That's just, it is what it is. The devs thought about this and they were like, no, Sephiroth and Aerith are not allowed to team up together. Ever. Even with mods. We got quite possibly the best mod so far for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What you guys are seeing on screen is not only is it possible to choose whichever character I want to roam around the world as, but you could actually add Sephiroth and Zack to the party. And yes, they are fully playable. And not only that, you can actually manipulate the game to now use every single party member in battle together, which means you could have a full 9-player fight in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is something that's really amazing to see and hopefully a sign of things to come in Part 3. But of course, it is not perfect by any means. There are a lot of bugs, which I'm going to be listing in this video, and you're going to want to back up your save file. You're going to want to make multiple of them and keep one safe just in case. Non-stop, guys, it's been banger after banger, and today is no exception when it comes to modding in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's been officially 1 week since Final Fantasy VII Rebirth launched, and we have so far the best mod ever. This title, of course, is going to continue to change and expand in the coming weeks as we get more updates and more mods, which has been an awesome journey so far, and it's only going to get better from here. While you're at it, if you guys haven't yet, secure Final Fantasy VII Rebirth today for $41 on Instant Gaming. Shout out to Instant Gaming for sponsoring us today. You guys can get FF7 Rebirth for $41, which is a great discount. They give you a Steam code and you can redeem it inside of Steam as well. You also got the twin pack that's $58, so take advantage of this, guys. They also have the digital deluxe editions, whichever one you prefer. Now let's dominate the world of FF7 with Sephiroth. First, we got to give a major shout out to UKESVD, the modder who created this cheat engine that allows us to swap between the characters. It does say you cannot run around the open world as Tifa or Aerith and fight without Cloud in the party. I mean, technically, you could fight without Cloud in the party. Once you unlock New Game Plus mode, you could absolutely do that. But you can do it on your first playthrough if you guys want it, and also with other characters. It's a very easy mod to install, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to download Cheat Engine 7.5. We're going to click this link right here and take us to an external website. You're going to click this link and download Cheat Engine 7.5. Now we're going to go back to the Nexus mod listing, and after that's actually done, we're going to go to Files, and we're going to download FF7 Rebirth Character. You're going to do a manual download, and then click download right here. Slow download. It is a 1 kilobyte file. It is very tiny. It's literally just a notepad. It's going to give you a zip folder, and inside the zip folder, we're going to have this FF7 Rebirth CT. We're going to drag this onto your desktop or whatever folder it is you want. This is how we're going to access the tables in order to customize our characters. To make things easy, I just slapped it on my desktop to showcase to you guys. So this is the cheat engine. We're going to install this. You're going to double click it, and we're going to hit next. But make sure you guys decline all these optional offers. You don't want to get these added to your computer. They're not necessarily viruses, but they're annoying to have. So you're going to click decline each one, or you can click skip all. You're going to let cheat engine install, which won't take too long. And we can ask it to launch on exit, so it'll open up the table. Now what you're going to want to do is boot up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and once that loads in, then we'll jump cut back to the next step. Now that my game is loaded up, we're in here. I also have Tifa modded as well. The first thing we're going to do, guys, is make sure you follow this, but create an extra save file. Make sure you have this safe. Keep it just in case if you have trouble reverting back to it. You could always just jump back in this way. So now that we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth open, Now we're going to go back to the cheat engine. We're going to click this icon on the top left right here, and it's going to load up, and you're going to see Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is actually right there. We're going to click open. So this way we have the game exe loaded in there. And now we're going to take the FF7 Rebirth CT engine file, and we're going to drag it into this program. You'll see it loads in 3 values here. We can close out of that now. These 3 values are all we essentially need. So we're going to keep this active. Control character, battle leader, and party. Now, just for the sake of easy steps, I'm just going to show you guys first how to change the party lead. So right now I have Cloud as the party leader. I'm going to double click this thing that says value. It's going to bring up a window here. I'm going to change this to Tifa. And also the battle leader as well. We'll change to Tifa, so this way it doesn't swap back to Cloud by default. So now, while we have this selected, we could actually click back into the game, but you'll notice we're still on Cloud. What you want to do is anytime you change a character or add a character to the party, you're going to want to press pause. You're going to go into this menu, give it a second, and then once you back out, you'll see the camera zooms over Tifa, and now you can actually roam around as her. And it's pretty cool. I mean, if you guys remember, we already do control Tifa in Remake and a little bit parts of Rebirth. She has her own square animation to break boxes, but we'll get into a fight here so you guys can see. Keeps her as the selected main character, right? Everything functions as intended. We have our synergy abilities and all that. There is one thing that I noticed that could provide an issue. When you're swapped into anybody else as you're roaming around the world, there are some doors that some characters aren't able to access. Like I was trying to go into the Temple of the Ancients as another character, and it just wasn't letting me. I was holding down triangle to do it, but it just would not progress further. Okay, so this explains a lot. This is why Sephiroth needs Cloud and why he keeps making him do things that he can easily do himself. He can't open fucking doors. I figured it out, guys. I figured it all out. So I had to actually switch back to Cloud in order to actually go inside of there, which isn't too big of a deal. You can always just open up the cheat engine and switch back to Cloud. Just like this. And now when you're in the game, go into the menu, back out, and then you control back Cloud, and that's how you could progress going forward. It's not that big of a deal. So if you look at the table, you'll obviously see we have a bunch of other characters in here as well. I'm in chapter 13, so BltzZ is actually not available in this chapter. So he has a 0 unused icon next to his name, and then you have Zack and Sephiroth. So let's get a little bit of wild here, right? So let's actually put BltzZ here. We'll put him not in the battle party, just to show you guys we can actually just make them pop up. We'll do that for these 3 boys. Let's go back into the game. When you press start, go back. Give it a second. Sometimes it takes a minute to load. And there you go. Look at that. They just teleported out of nowhere. And again, if you want to remove them from the party, you're going to double click them and you're going to go to unused, the 0 command. And that's how you'll revert that backwards. But now let's put them in the battle party. As a matter of fact, let's put everybody in the battle party. Let's just showcase how crazy this could actually get, right? We'll throw Red in there as well. We'll throw Yuffie in there. And we'll throw Barret in there. Ooh, as a matter of fact, I could actually run around as Sephiroth. Let's go ahead and do that. Right, so now we'll go back into the menu, but instead of going back, we actually got to go to combat settings over here, and we're going to press square. We're going to press square, and you'll notice on the left, it actually shows Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa are in a party. We're going to switch to party 1. This is the one that's going to have everybody in here. Now, you might have on your screen, it'll just show maybe 4 or 5 members are in the party. What you'll have to do is take members from the back line, like right here. I'll take Barret and swap him in with Yuffie. I'll take Red, swap him in with Aerith, and then same thing for BltzZ, right? And then you would press R1 a couple times, and party 1 should fill up. Now that we got party 1 filled up, we could actually go back out. And there we go. Now we're roaming around as Sephiroth. I will say, Sephiroth is kind of slow. I don't know if it's just me, but his sprint does not feel that fast at all. And also his climbing animation is pretty buggy. So he's a slow climber. Sometimes he'll be climbing over things and he'll just be like taking so long to react out of it. Weirdly enough, it's not doing it here, but this kept happening to us on stream yesterday where like when he would climb, it would... Okay, there we go. There we go. Saw that right there? That sometimes will happen with Sephiroth. I guess it's not every time. Yeah, look at that. That long drop. That animation, it takes so long for him to recover from there. Sephiroth doesn't have a bench animation. He doesn't have a world strike animation, so I can't break boxes with him. He also can't swim. So he runs through water like a Giga Chad. Same thing with Zack as well. And you theoretically could play through the entire game with this, but unfortunately, Chapter 2 will provide an issue. In Chapter 2, you do have to ride a chocobo to go through the water to fight the Midgar Zolom and then go into Chapter 3. There's a problem with that. Zack and Sephiroth do not have a chocobo animation. They can't ride chocobos and they also can't swim. So when you try to trigger that cutscene, when you cross over into the water where Cloud sees Sephiroth and the entire party doesn't, that does not actually trigger, and it actually soft locks the game, and you'll have to reload your save file and go back a little bit in order to fix that. But theoretically, if you started from Chapter 3, you could technically roam around the rest of the game for the most part as these characters or with these characters in the party without any issue. At least as of right now, it hasn't been discovered if there are any other issues, but the Midgar Zolom portion of the end of Chapter 2 does have that problem, so that's been notated. And you guys will see Sephiroth has all of his moves that he has from Chapter 1. It's all pretty damn sick. Like, you could do everything that you could do in Chapter 1 with Sephiroth, which I really like. Of course, he's pretty damn broken. He's really good. I feel like he has a special property on his attacks where he can juggle enemies that normally the party will have a harder time trying to juggle or they have to be pressured. I feel like Sephiroth has a special property on his abilities like that. Rightfully so. I mean, he's the one character that should be able to do that, right? So now we'll get into another fight and I'll show you, like, we're controlling Sephiroth right here. We got Aerith. It's switched to Red 13, but it says Cloud, so that's bugged. Also, by the way, shortcuts, that's another thing to mention as well. Shortcuts don't work with this on certain characters. So characters like Red 13, Kate Sith, Tifa actually don't and can't use their ability shortcuts with your L1 button. You'll actually have to choose from the command menu, but Cloud, Sephiroth, and Zack actually are able to use their shortcuts. Well, actually, just Sephiroth. Zack doesn't have any shortcuts. There's also a bug with Arcane Ward. Do not use Arcane Ward because it will crash your game. Sephiroth and Zack do not have a second animation in the game to throw out a magic attack, which is what Arcane Ward allows you to do. So if you try to use them on top of an Arcane Ward and they try to throw out that second one, it will always crash your game. Let's see, we're actually at Sephiroth right now, and then you could actually swap from Sephiroth to Aerith to Red 13 to Kate Sith. When you try to use an ability with Kate Sith, it actually uses Cloud. And now we're at Cloud. Jump over to Yuffie. Like, it's crazy being able to do this. And the game, for the most part, it functions pretty well. Yeah, see, Tifa can't use her abilities. Barrett can. And Aerith can't. There's also sometimes you'll get these wild bugs where if you try to like press start and go back in to bring more party members out, yeah, you'll just basically break the stage and unlock the ultimate life form that Hojo has been desperately trying to create. A Sephiroth Soldier Red 13 Ancient Hybrid. This is actually terrifying. Cloud and Sephiroth have their synergy team up attacks. They have their skills and they have their synergy abilities. And the same goes for Zack and Cloud as well. Zack and Cloud don't have their other synergy ability, but they have one. Soldier's Honor is their synergy ability that they have. Look at Sephiroth healing the entire party. What a good guy. And like I said, you're not restricted to just the grasslands. You could actually go pretty much everywhere or anywhere. I would still test this out and be careful with it. This guy is returning back to the scene of the crime. What an actual mad lad. Look at this dude. I burned all of this down, kid. What you mean? I just know Sephiroth actually stares at this robe clone. That's interesting. Sometimes this bottom left menu can bug out if you're trying to go and heal some of the characters, especially like Sephiroth and them. Going through it can actually hang the menu and glitch it out. The best thing to do is if you want to heal some of the party members, you can go into spells over here, select somebody that does have cure and cure them. But you'll notice that Sephiroth and Zack won't be here. The only other way to really heal them properly is to go to a Choco Stop. You could actually use a Chocobo bench in order to heal them, but they don't have an animation to sit on the Chocobo bench. I'll show you guys that right quick. You can't actually sit down on the bench with Sephiroth. If you try to, it'll just not do it. You got to switch to Cloud, Tifa, or somebody else that's able to do it. Most importantly, though, Sephiroth actually has a Chocobo pet animation. It's the cutest damn thing ever. You think this guy's actually really evil, guys? I don't know. Maybe, you know, Sephiroth got a point. His beef is with Shinra and humans. And remember, if you do want to revert back to it, say you didn't make a backup save file and you don't want to continue playing with them, you could always switch it back. You're going to go back to Cloud here. And depending on where you are, like for Kate Sith, I got to put him as unused because he's not technically in the party right now. And switch the same thing for Sephiroth and Zack. Oh, and also put the rest of the party members not in battle party. So Red, Yuffie, and Barret. You gotta put them not in the battle party. And then you could go back into the game, pause it, wait a second, go back out, and it'll transition back to normal. And Sephiroth and Zack won't be in the party anymore. And now your save file should be good. And guys, we did a full stream last night messing around with this, and I do plan to do more in the future. But if you want, I'll be linking that down below if you want to check out how things unfolded for us during that stream as we messed around with things, found some glitches, and got into some crazy team fights. And it's mostly consisting of the B-roll that you've been seeing throughout the background of this video. Also, Sephiroth and Zack in the VR work pretty similar to how they do already in the VR simulator. But it's important to note certain things about them. They don't have a frog mode, so if they actually get hit with a frog ability, they're actually not going to turn into one, and you can fully cheese the rest of the fight. However, it's actually going to bug your abilities. You'll see that they're stuck with frog abilities, but they can't use their own normal ones. Another really good mod to combine with this as well is the all enemies HP increase. You can increase every single enemy's HP by 2.5 or 5 times, and this will make fights last a lot longer, so you can have a more fun time experimenting with the characters and put together some wild combinations. Hell, get everybody to do their limit break all at once together in unison. That's some wild shit. Also, at the time of recording this, DLSS 4 actually just came out and has an update with the NVIDIA app. On the bottom left of the screen, you can actually see I'm actually running it right now. I know it says DLSS V3, but that file to the right, the 310.2.1, that's the official DLSS 4 file that was launched today, and I pulled it from Alan Wake. And I'm also on the render preset K, which is the newest preset for DLSS. And I'll be showing you guys how to install that in a future video. I will say on a 3090, I'm not noticing too much of a difference in this game. In Marvel Rivals, things looked a lot better for me over there. I did get reduced amount of frames while on performance mode in Marvel Rivals, but the quality does look significantly better. I think that's what they're aiming for overall across the board. But so far in Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of a difference with DLSS 4 on a 3090. All RTX cards are backwards compatible to be able to use DLSS 4 from the 20 series all the way up to the 50 series. But I'll still be making a video showcasing to you guys how to install that, and hopefully we get more goodies along the way. Now guys, of course, this mod is absolutely amazing. I want to see what crazy stuff you guys can come up with. So if you can get some sick recordings and tag your boy on Twitter or direct me any main links, I'm happy to check that out. Seeing Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth's system being able to manage quite decently 9 party members out in battle at the same time, it's got me really excited for part 3 just to see where else they could take all this. It's gonna be a fantastic time. Modding this game has been an absolute joy. It's only been a week, and it's gonna get better and better as we move forward. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy Rebirth mod videos are on the way, and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.